Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, getting some prep work done for a big kitchen day on Monday. I'm hoping to do a bunch of freezer meals, so I'm trying to get prepared ahead of time. And this bag of onions, as you can see, some are starting to grow roots. And so I'm gonna try and chop all of these up. And I got a handy tool that was gifted to me for Christmas by my daughter. And it's this big chopper that's going to chop all of my onions to the same size. So that's going to make it easier for me. I'm going to do onions, I'm going to do some peppers, and I'm going to get this started. But not only that, I'm planning on using a lot of these things for my dinner tonight because I'm going to be making a chili. But not only am I making a chili tonight, I'm going to prepare some chili ahead of time and put it in the freezer for another day. So I can do 2 meals in one day. And that is my plan, is to try and to make some cooking days easier days for me by having things prepared and pre-planned and pre-made for me in the future. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some freezer meals on Monday, and this is going to be my start to that. Now as I go through these onions, some of these skins will come off, and my plan is to, I'm just chopping off just both the ends of each onion, and then after I'm done the onions, I will peel off the outer skin, and then I'll have all my half pieces, and then I'll just chop them as I go. Now I don't have this quite set up so you can see everything because I don't have a setup for that, but I can certainly show you a few of the things. But my chopper's right beside me here, and I'm just literally gonna, done. That's how I'm gonna go through each one of them. Oh, also, don't throw out your peels. Put them in a freezer bag. Put them all in a freezer bag, your ends, your peels, and save it for a day that you wanna do a broth. You want to cook down some chicken, you want to do anything like that, and you can reuse those peels, and then you just strain it when you're finished, and you've got yourself a strained broth. I have cheesecloth that I can use to help me strain my broths, so that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be saving all of these peels for a broth day. All right, guys, so this is one of the onions that did this, and I cut it off. And this can also go into the broth. There's nothing wrong with this. So I'm just going to put it in my bag of onions for my onion broth. So that'll be easy. The skin will be good. I'm going to peel her off, stick it in, and chop. So far, I've been doing quite good. No watery eyes with this chopper, which I'm loving. Now, out of the entire 5 pounds of onions I had in here, I only had to get rid of 2 onions. And the rest are actually pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm going to have a lot of skins for broth, which I'm looking forward to because I'm hoping to do a broth very soon. And probably start to try to do my very first canning. So we'll see how that goes because I've never done it before, but I certainly want to try. And how do you know if you don't try? So this is step 1 of me learning how to do some type of my own preservation, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just starting to learn and see how things come, see how things go. So this is actually not taking me very long. I'd say about, so far it's been about 10 minutes, not that long. And actually I might have to, it's almost full. My chopper is almost full of onions. So I'm gonna have to, actually, I can probably start cooking some of these down, and then I'll do the rest of these. My plan is to, I'm going to do a chili, like I said, a chili today. And so I'm going to chop up some peppers as well to get it started. And so I need to have all these onions out, but I'm going to freeze some onions, but I'll have a freezer bag full of chopped onions, and then that way whenever I need to add onions to any meal, it's already pre-chopped, and then that's half the work out. So I don't even have to prep onions now, which is actually going to be quite fun. I think this is going to be quite successful, and I'm truly enjoying being able to start some prep work and get things done that need to get done probably a few weeks ago, but that's okay. And starting some food preservation for the beginning of this year. So trying to see how much of the stuff that I have to use up, I can use up and not have any waste. So that's what I'm trying to do. And get some meals pre-prepped just for when I'm having busy days. I don't have to always resort to takeout. I can actually do just food from home. So that's kind of the plan of where I'm going. I do know that a few people that I'm watching on YouTube are doing a pantry challenge for this month. And maybe I could say this is kind of like me doing a pantry challenge, trying to use as much stuff as I can in my kitchen to be resourceful, not doing takeout, and just trying to use the items that I have in my kitchen. So we'll see how this goes, and I'm truly hoping that this is very successful for me since this is my first year trying to do anything like this. So anyways, there we go. Most of my onion peels are in here. I actually have another Ziploc bag that already has some onion peels in it that I'm going to put the remainder in it. I actually don't think I have any more room to put these onions in. So I think I'm good for quite a few recipes for onions. So this is just going to help me to get through until I need onions again. All right, guys, I just wanted to share a few things with you. So back when I did my garden, I had some peppers for my garden, and as well as I had purchased peppers, local peppers for 49 cents a pound, which was absolutely amazing. So I purchased a lot of red peppers, and what I did was I went through all of my peppers, sliced them, went through that 10-pound bag of onions, sliced them all, and I actually wind up putting them in with my green peppers. And this is how I froze individually packed a full onion, I did all my red peppers and green peppers, and then I had a couple of orange peppers that I got for a good price too. I think it was 98 cents a pound, but I put it all in here in enough size that this would make a great stir fry for fajitas or whatever type of stir fry I was doing, that this would make a good, easy, quick, which it has done. I still have a few of these in my freezer, but that was an idea that I have. And when zucchini was on sale and I was getting zucchini for $1 for a large zucchini, good sized zucchini at the market, I chopped them up and froze them and just used them as I could, because they actually break apart really easily and you can pull out what you need when you want it. So that becomes very handy as well. Also, when I cut down broccoli heads, so I got broccoli that I grew at home, and you can take your broccoli heads and chop them down, but stems, you would just throw them away, put them in the compost or whatever. I actually peel those and chop the insides of the stem, because the inside of the stem can also be a really good addition to stews and cream soups and stuff like that, like broccoli soups and stuff. So you don't have to waste it. You can actually just peel it and use the inside, the meat of it, which is also very handy too. I've got these large Ziploc bags, which I'm going to put all these onions into. And that's another thing that's going to be a nice storing solution. So there's a lot of onions. I still have quite a few I have to finish chopping up. But instead of trying to have to cook it right away, I'm just going to dump these onions into the freezer bag. And I can store it flat to freeze. So, and onions freeze up so nicely. If I'm using it just to cook in, I don't eat onions raw. So I never have to have fresh raw onions, so it's not like I'm going to use these for a salad or anything, but this is just like, look at all those onions, and just think, it's already pre-prepped food. Like, I don't even have to worry about it chopping some onions for spaghetti. And okay, this is also another crazy thing, but I don't know if you guys have been in the grocery stores lately, but I recently seen in the frozen food section bags called spaghetti mix. So you're gonna have your onions, your tomatoes, your I don't even know what's all in it, but it just called spaghetti. And I was like, why would you get frozen vegetables for spaghetti? Mind you, it's probably cheaper than buying fresh right now. So pre-diced onions and everything already purchased. I mean, I think they're on to us, guys. But anyways, this is the other package I had started already. This has been such a handy tool, and it's just making chopping onions for spaghetti and whatever I want to use it for so much easier. And I bought some zucchini, and I'm going to buy some peppers. They're on sale somewhere, so I'm so excited. So I'm going to grab a few packages of peppers so I can chop them up. I can add these to chili. I can add this to spaghetti. I can add this to casseroles. I can add this to any type of dishes I really want. I just had a mind-blowing thought. I can add some of these onions to my scalloped potatoes. I don't even have to chop onions for scalloped potatoes. This is going to make work so much easier, because half the battle for my scalloped potatoes, I have a food processor, so slicing the potatoes are quick and easy, but it's the chopping and the onions and layering the onions. This is just going to be a time saver for that too. I'm super excited. Been enjoying this so much. Four onions that quick. Nice and tight. Look how much space will that take in my freezer. Hardly any space. And I've got onions to last for a few months. Maybe a month. But I'm super excited. So now I'll just grab a chunk and use it whenever I need it. Super exciting. And I've got red peppers, green peppers, and onions for 2 batches of chili already chopped. Hi guys, so now we're in my kitchen. So this is the pot that I'm going to be using to cook the entire batch of all my chili in. I've I purchased my ground beef in a large bulk item. So I portioned it myself, and this is a large portion of ground beef. And I am going to actually start out with, let me put some olive oil in there. So I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in here to start. We've already got this on medium heat. Also, I am relying on one of my favorite friends. His name is Clubhouse. And I am using the Clubhouse packet to season the chili. But I'm not just going to season it with that. I'm going to add some of my own things, which I usually do anyways. And hopefully when it cools down, I can store the rest of the chili in a Ziploc bag for another time. Now this oil has heated up. So now I've got ground beef in here cooking away. Medium heat. Then we will go ahead and throw the onions in here shortly once we start to see. So I got this all chopped now. If you want to get some great flavor, just let the ground beef sit, let it cook down. And so what you want to do is you want to create that flavor, and that flavor is by letting the beef brown up and release the sugars in there and allow you to get some more flavor. Now, if you're using canned goods, you can take the browning time to go ahead and open up all your canned goods. Kind of make use of your time for this while you're waiting for the ground beef to brown on the bottom of the pan. This way we're utilizing our time. Instead of waiting for the beef to brown, find yourself useful by doing something else. Now I've allowed my beef to brown as much as I need it to, but I'm going to try and get my vegetables in. So this is a lot of chopped veggies, but let's just go ahead and just pour it all in and try to cook down a lot of those onions that we have chopped up. This is also going to add flavor as well. So the more things you add to your chili, the more volume you can have to save for another day, which also really helps too. So if you got it, use it. Okay guys, I'm just finishing up putting in all the onions and the peppers into this pot, and we're just going to cook that down until the onions look translucent and we know that the ground beef is fully cooked. And we're just going to keep stirring at this time. I might even add, I purchased my garlic at Costco in this size. I've actually only had this for a couple months, and I've gone through that much garlic because I put garlic in everything, every dish that I make. So I think a big heaping tablespoon of garlic for this dish will be good. And I'm just going to stir that in. I just love the smell of that garlic, but I love garlic. So we're going to cook that in, cook that down as well. Alright guys, so we've got our ground beef and onions and peppers all cooking down here. I'll give you a little look-see. That's what it's looking like. So now I'm just going to let you have kind of like a bird's eye view here. Not the best view actually. Here we are cooking it down. I think it's cooked enough. We're going to add a can of tomatoes. I'm going to drain this out. This time I'll actually add a can of sauce. And then my strained beans. This is a 6-bean blend. I'm just putting in another can of beans, a little extra, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I do 1 can of tomato soup. So I'm gonna add a can of tomato soup. This is one of those ones where it just opens up. The condensed version as well, your choice. This is what I had on hand. This is what I'm using. Now, I almost forgot to add the corn. So I'm using frozen corn, which is just fine. And I'm gonna do a couple of cups of corn, a cup for each batch. And there we are. a little extra because the more you put in the pot, the more you make. So I'm just going to add that in there. I can use this wooden spoon, rinsing things off as I go. Now I'm just going to give this all a nice stir. And then we're just going to let this simmer for probably about a half an hour on the stove. Oh, let's not forget our friend Clubhouse. And this is got less salt in it than the original. And I don't have a problem with salt, so I am going to add some uniodized salt. And let's add a little pepper. Black pepper right here. And you can add as much as you want or as little as you want. I usually like to keep going with the pepper, give it a little bit of a kick, but the chili powder this chili has a lot of heat to it too. So you don't have to add too much. And a second package because we're doing a double batch. There we go. This is going to have a lot of flavor, a lot of heat. I'm just going to put on the lid and let that simmer. So my battery died. Didn't expect that to happen, but this is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along, cooking with me, prepping for some meals, and getting 2 meals out of the way in one day. And I think I'm going to utilize this as often as I can, where I cook a meal but prep enough for 2 meals. So while I'm in the kitchen already doing everything I need to do for 1 meal, I can be doing it for a second meal for another day. I don't have to think about. And I think this is going to be a huge time saver for me. And on Monday, I do plan on doing a larger cooking day. And I'm really hoping that that's successful because it will be my first time doing a large batch of freezer meals. So I have to prepare and plan ahead of time. I'm going to pull out all the things that I need to prepare for what I want and have a list of the recipes I want to do. So I am prepared and that this planning goes well. And let's just see where I go with this. I'm really hoping that this cooking is successful, but also I just enjoy cooking and meal prep in general. And so I'm just so glad I got an opportunity to share this with you. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to continue watching more of these videos, let me know in the comments below. I'm just curious whether or not you guys would be interested in any of those things. And if you want to follow along on my journey for my garden growing, I hope I'm giving you guys some good information that you can use for yourself as well as I can use for myself in the future. But if you'd like to follow along, go ahead and click that subscribe button and follow along with me in 2023. Thank you very much, guys, and until next time. Bye. Taste test of the chili. It's good?
Mm-hmm.
It's hot. Mm. Mm. Mm.